Hey everybody, Sean and Carmel here at Gallifrey 1, the 31st year, 31 years of Gallifrey.
Here's the program. It's a cool Thanos reference there. I'm not sure what it is, but it's cool. It does go from February 14th through the 16th this year, although it unofficially started yesterday, or there was like a preview day where there was some like an In-N-Out run and an ice cream social and different things to do on the Thursday. But we just got checked in, so here's the program. They have tons of stuff to do. There's this whole booklet of stuff with panel schedules and signings and coffee clutches and lots of guests and stuff related to the various years of Doctor Who. So I'll check in.
Yeah, one of the things we love is there's so many panels, and we cannot take you inside the panel rooms because they do not allow video there, but we will take you onto the floor, show you some of the cosplay, maybe a little bit of LobbyCon, and just kind of talk about some of the things that we love about these shows. So with that said, let's head on inside. All right, where Gallifrey 1 begins for many is at LobbyCon. Making our way in here. It's been redone over the last few years, has a different look, but during Gallifrey 1 it has the same vibe, which is all out Whovian love. It's been cool over the years how the hotel has kind of gotten on board with things, little signage like that, and just really embracing the convention, letting it all unfold out here days preceding and sometimes for a day or two following. Just groups of friends hanging out, having a good time. So let's head down the escalator to the actual convention. All right, as we head down the escalator here, what we're all curious to see, first year with some new carpeting. So if you've not been to Gallifrey 1 before, this doesn't make any sense, but if you have, and I'd imagine a lot of people have seen this, miss the old carpet. The Marriott's undergone some renovations, lots of changes just to make things more comfortable for conferences and conventions throughout the year. But one of the changes was the carpet, which people loved so much. Even to the degree this year they've featured some of the old carpet as part of an auction, and they even have made some cookies with that kind of print color to them. So tickets to the convention sell out each year super fast. This year they lasted a little bit longer than they have in a while, but they go for $110 and you are getting packed programming. Here you get a look at the overall floor plan and then some of the Friday programming. But it is a huge program guide that you get packed with stuff, much beyond just signings and panels. It's all sorts of comedy and karaoke and, as Carmel said, In-N-Out runs.
I have given them one.
That's the thing that sucks about this system. Yeah, we were cool and my aunt is a rocket scientist.
That's cool.
So you might notice the floor is a little bit emptier at that time, and that is because one of the big panels going on right now, everybody's being drawn inside for Pearl Mackie. One thing I just wanted to say real quick before I forget, that a cool thing they do here with the panels, for example, Christopher Eccleston, they have him at 2 panels, one Saturday in the evening, right before kind of the regular programming close, and then one Sunday morning. And they ask attendees to decide and kind of split up and not go to both. And what we find normally here at Gallifrey, people seem to actually honor that. That it really kind of speaks to the overall just vibe here, is it's very much kind of community based. It's very much a fan con. It feels like everybody's here is kind of part of a family and looking out for each other to a certain extent there. So I think it's a really rare and unique thing to do something like that, is have a major guest. Eccleston is not one for really the convention circuit too much in the last, well really in his whole career. So to have him here, it's a really big deal to fans. So they go to the fans and they say, hey, do us a favor, go to one, pick one. And what we found, at least in the past, when it's the John Barrowmans of the world or whatever big guests they have, people actually honor that and do that, which is really cool. So that said, though, when there are bigger panels like Pearl Mackie right now, Carmela's inside enjoying, and I am out getting video, because we find that it is a good time to get video on the floor, because things kind of clear out because people are making their way to see those panels, or in this case also dinner. So that said, let's take a little bit more look around at some of the cosplay of the con.
Okay, straight down.
He and other Sean have been friends for years.
Oh, okay.
Oh, wow.
Godzilla on the rampage. Star Wars.
Thank you.
So one of the big draws for the convention is their fantastic guest list that really spans all the eras of Doctor Who. It's really pretty fantastic. A big get, the biggest get probably in the years that we've been coming to the con, really, though, is Christopher Eccleston this year. He is not, I mean, we cover a ton of cons, and this is the first time we've seen him at a convention. We covered 61 convention last year, and this is the first time we've seen him at a show, so love seeing him here. You've got, obviously, Peter Davison, Pearl Mackie, and again, kind of speaking to the range of the years. You have Tosin Cole from the very recent, I mean, literally airing this week, and this is the first time in the 31 years of Gallifrey 1 that Doctor Who is airing during the actual convention, so that's even more exciting that he's here. His show will be on this weekend, and he is also part of the programming here, and obviously it goes on and on, covering all of the eras. They also do things, tie-ins, like last year, what was it, Babylon 5, I believe. This year, kind of a strand of Star Trek. There's even a panel dedicated to some of the behind-the-scenes producers of Orville are going to be here talking about the show. So it's not, although it is very much Doctor Who, I'd say, 85, 90%. There is that kind of 10% of some of the other properties being celebrated, where it's Battlestar Galactica or Trek or whatever it might be. So a really killer list. We also find that in general, autographs here are cheaper when it is a guest that appears at other conventions. So for example, Barrowman, I want to say he was charging like $60 at Phoenix Comic Con at the time, and when he was here it was in like the $40 range. It was something like that. Don't quote me on those prices, but I just know that there's been a number of guests that we've seen here and at other conventions in the same year, and the autographs have been consistently like $10 to $20 cheaper here, so that's also kind of a nice added benefit. And even maybe more important than that is the lines. We've been able to get every autograph here that we've ever wanted, with lines that aren't ridiculous in comparison to other cons, and that is a lot to be said for that. I mean, the fact that their attendance is capped around that 4,000 mark goes a long way versus other cons that we go to that may have 60, 70, 80,000 people there. And so that's really nice as well. So although everybody here probably will want to get certain guest autographs, where that won't be the case at some of those larger cons, at the end of the day, when they have them spread out over 4, 5, 6 signings, usually by that last signing, I think the longest we've ever waited, and we've gotten all the top tier talent to sign something here over the last decade. The longest we've ever waited, I want to say, is a half hour. So we usually wait till the last day of their signing, which is a little risky because if they just all of a sudden fall ill or are unable to make it for some reason, then we would be out. But that's never happened so far in anybody that we've sought out. We've been able to get all of those autographs with minimal wait. So another added bonus to Gallifrey 1. It is Sunday, and we are wrapping up our time here at Gallifrey 1. We've had a really good time. We just got out of the Eccleston panel, which was a lot of fun. It was really interesting hearing him talk a little bit about his time before Who, during Who, and after Who, and all of that. So unfortunately, I said they don't allow video in there, so we can't include any of that in this video, but a good time with that. For you, with the weekend wrapping up, any highlights or things you want to mention?
Well, it was obviously cool to catch up with friends. We had dinner with friends from the SCCC unofficial blog, and so that was a lot of fun. As far as specifically with the convention, I definitely enjoyed the Tosin Cole panel and Pearl Mackey panels. They were very fun, and they were laughing a lot, and it was fun for the audience to hear their stories. So I think those are probably the highlights for me. I mean, it's just a fun convention where you can just immerse yourself. We were fortunate this time, and we didn't have other things that we were having to split our time with, so we were able to basically just hunker down and stay here the whole time, which was really awesome. And we're fortunate to have a room here at the Marriott, so it was just a really fun weekend, and kind of relaxing at points, kind of stressful at points. I'm a little sad in that we're not going to be getting Chris Eccleston's autograph because those lines were confusing and long, and the times that he was signing didn't really work, and so that I think is probably the only disappointment I have really for this weekend, was not getting his autograph.
Yeah, but he'll be at Phoenix, so we will try to hunt him down there potentially. He definitely brought the biggest crowds that we've seen here for photos, for signings, which no surprise there. It's, I think as they were introducing him this morning on the panel, they had said something about, a year ago we couldn't have imagined having him here, and I think that's how everybody feels. So everybody really wanted to be with him. So literally as we're recording this, they were quoting a 4-hour wait to get him to sign on Sunday, which is like nothing we've seen here before. So we've obviously gotten signings here for much less time than at most conventions. So not a big deal. We'll pick it up somewhere else, but really good to have him here. The panel was fantastic with him, just hearing him talk again about all of that. I would say, as you said, Pearl Mackey, I feel like one of the highlights of the whole convention was her response. Somebody asked her what she would say if Bill had continued to meet the 13th Doctor, Jodie Whittaker, and she said she's hot, and the room erupted, and it felt like online erupted, and just everybody had a good time with it. So Exhibitor Hall was fun, as usual. Cosplay off the charts, as usual, and most importantly, just the community here. People love being here. They love the people here. They love the guests, the attendees. It's just a really good vibe all weekend. So huge thanks to everybody that puts Gallifrey 1 together. We enjoyed number 31. Looking forward to number 32. We'll wrap up here. We'll have a lot more talk about this, at least an hour, maybe hour and a half talk on our podcast. If you want to find us over there, wherever it is you find podcasts, Parks and Cons. Until next time, we'll see you in line somewhere.